Hello everybody, welcome back to Max Reviews. I'm Brayden and today we're going to be talking about Cobra Kai Season 3. And this seems to be, I just gotta say for me, this is probably where it sort of drops a bit, the ball, just a bit. I still like it, I still love it, it's absolutely amazing. But I just, it doesn't go as well. It just doesn't flow as well as the previous two seasons were, and I'll go into that when I get into the bad. But anyway, this is Max Reviews, and let's just get started with the good for this movie. And I think this movie does this show. I'm so used to saying movie, but anyway, this season of this show, I feel like for the good, it still does the characters right. To a great degree, it still brings back some characters that were missing in the second season, and it also gets rid of some characters from the first and second seasons, and that works. I'm fine with that, with what they did with all that. And it's just pretty nice to see everybody again. Johnny is trying to work out how to do it without actually having Cobra Kai, and Daniel, he's trying to teach his students, which is harder than he's thinking it would be. And through all this, Kreese is right in the middle, just going no mercy with everybody. And for the good, I gotta go with Hawk right here, because I really like Hawk in this show, and in the show as a whole. And for this season, I think they could have redeemed him a bit earlier, but I really like his redemption arc coming out of that last episode. And speaking of that last episode, that episode just sets up Season 4 so good. And that's why it's like, this could be the best show of the entire year for me. That's just what I'm thinking, because it has a bunch of potential now. Like, they're giving it going, like, this is what we're doing with the karate tournament, the All Valley tournament. So they're actually doing this, and this is what it's coming down to. And just another thing that really works with this is Kreese. They give him even more backstory. Like, we get to see him when he wasn't who you thought he would be in the 1960s, and fighting in the war, and then actually killing his superior officer, and the girl that he loved is gone, so you could see, and also shows you Terry Silver and how that happened. And so these questions, sometimes stuff gives you answers to questions that you're not asking, but this season gives me some answers to some questions that I was asking, like, where did Kreese come from? Because this show, and the whole Karate Kid thing in Cobra Kai, it goes back to the Karate Kid, and most everything is explained except for some smaller stuff like Kreese, and that's about it. And so they're explaining Kreese and Terry Silver, so this all is starting to make sense. And I also like that Dimitri, after stepping up in Season 2, he is actually doing stuff again. He's getting the girlfriend, he's fighting karate, he's doing good, even though he breaks his arm and everything, but he still is doing good. And then the first beginning of our season starts with Miguel, and he is in a coma. And I really like that Season 2 had consequence. And Miguel, it just divides the thing, it opens up the thing for Kreese, and it's what brings everything down. And Miguel is still in the hospital, and he gets out of the coma. It's just so great to see Johnny just give up on basically everything, and then he's not giving up on Miguel. He's going. And just seeing him push so hard to get Miguel to do stuff. And then when Miguel, they started pretty slowly with just tapping a foot. It's so much time. And then he could stand up. And then he could walk. And then you had that beautiful recreation where Season 2, one of the best intros to Cobra Kai, where you have them walk out at the end and just do a fist bump with glasses on, just going out to work kind of a thing. And then in this one, they have the recreation. They're walking out with a wheelchair and the crutches and throwing them in the dumpster. And that's beautiful recreation right there. I really like that. One thing, this is sort of like in the mixed, but I'm not going to actually put it in the mixed. They get rid of Aisha, or Ali. I don't know. her name, the girl from season 2 and 3, and they also give it a Stingray. I feel like Stingray was just a one season sort of fun guy, but Aisha, she had a big thing in season 1. Then season 2, she didn't really do anything. So it makes sense that, like, their parents had to be like, yeah, I'm done with this, I'm leaving. And the ramifications with the school going all out and sort of, they're banning karate. They're doing hugs, not hits. And it could be comedic at times, but also these are kids' lives. And you're seeing Hawk and versus Dimitri. You still have the rivalries, but at the end of the season, those rivalries are resolved, kind of thing. Even Daniel and Johnny, which is such a great way to end it with it. This big fight, it does have consequence once again, but I'm gonna have to go to the fight now. The final episode, I just got finished watching that. The final, like, 2 episodes and part of the final 3rd episode. So, actually, episodes 8, part of episode 8, 9, and then 10. I just watch them sort of out of order sometimes. It's still before Christmas when I'm recording this, so I have a good head start. It comes out in 8 days from today, so season 4, so I am ready. But anyway, how it ends this is it just gives us the perfect sort of thing to set up the next season. And I like that they did January 1st and then December 31st, which is great for how they're doing it. And it's really nice that they're doing that, and they're pretty going all in because Netflix knows this is something to jump on. And so I really think that that's the best and worst thing about season 4, because if it pays it off and just Kreese is gone at the end, or Johnny and Daniel have to give it up, but no matter what happens, it seems like this is going to be the end of Cobra Kai, which gets me concerned for season 4, because how's it gonna? They can't end the show. They have so much going on. So how are they gonna continue that? And if they get rid of, like, Daniel and Johnny, that is going to be extremely sad, because those are the 2 best characters of the entire show for me right now. So we'll see with season 4. But right now, I'm going to get into the bad. And just so you know, for the bad, I still love this show. You're going to see my final score. And I still love this show, but I have to make a few nitpicks. It has the most problems for any season, so it's probably last. But anyway, for things that I don't like, first thing that comes to mind immediately is Robbie, what they did with Robbie. Robbie wasn't too great in season 1, but he was okay. Season 2, he was great, and now season 3, he's going back. This is his worst part, where he's in jail, kind of a thing. And then he gets out, and he immediately sees Samantha and Miguel getting together, and then he goes to Cobra Kai immediately. He goes to Cobra Kai, he's going bad again, which I don't like what they did with that. They sort of ruined him. We'll see what they do with him in season 4 with him and what's the new girl's name? Give me a second. I gotta check that out here. But other things with that new girl from season 2, when she comes in and just Samantha has this thing where she's scared of Tori. She's scared of Tori. And I don't really think that plays too well. And Daniel's sort of giving up on karate at the end of season 2. And then he gets back to it and things are going a bit better. But Tori, I think you could sort of understand her. She's not as good as she was in season 2 once again. But she's still okay, I think. And you get to see, I think in season 4 it's going to be, you get to see these 2 broken people, Robbie and Tori, come together. And Samantha and Miguel get back together. Not as good as in season 1, but maybe in season 4 it'll be okay. Another thing that I'm not too big on is the sort of cameos that we have. Now, if you've been keeping track, season 1 and season 2, when they gave you a cameo, like, it wasn't a cameo. When you see Daniel and Johnny, they are permanently there. They are the main characters. When season 1 ends and you see Kreese is what we're dealing with in season 4. He is a big problem. And when you get to the end of season 2, it teases Allie. And then in season 3, you have Daniel. He goes back to Mr. Miyagi's hometown, and he runs into the girl that he sort of dated back in Karate Kid 2, and he sees his old rival from Karate Kid 2 and the girl that he saved from Karate Kid 2. They got introduced. We saw them for a second, and then they're gone. For like, it was just 2 episodes in this that we saw them, and then they're gone. Same thing with Allie. Allie I actually liked worse. No, I didn't like. It was worse, I think. Because with the 2 other people, I just didn't. I don't know with Allie. It's for some reason it doesn't hit right with me, because it makes sense for her to show up, and I sort of wanted, when they were talking about her, it made sense, but when she actually got there, it just didn't hit right with me, because Johnny was already going out with Miguel's mom, and Daniel's got his own wife, so it was cool for them to meet, and for her to just give him like a speech, but it was just like a 2-episode cameo, so for that, I didn't like it too much. And also the final fight, this is sort of in the mixed for me once again, because it's so frustrating, because on one hand, on the good hand, it is awesome. It's just one continuous shot for most of it. And then you have Hawk's redemption. You have so many great fights. You have Tori versus Samantha. You have Miguel getting ready to fight once again. And then against the bully from season 1, and just standing up once again. And then you have Dimitri and the Hawk teaming up. It's just so great. But also, they sort of, on the bad side of it, they sort of crumbled under all of that, because when they're doing like the long shot, if you look like I'd say at least 3 times, you look and the actors are just fake fighting, and it just draws you out. You're like, whoa, yikes, this did not actually happen. And it looks amazing when they're doing close-up, but in the background, it is nowhere near as good. I just really feel bad about that, because it could have been like one of the best, but it's got to be the worst, because it just crumbles on it wants to do something, and it just crumbles under that. It just can't live up to what it's trying to do. And for more stuff, I think that's about it. I still like this, just to keep in mind. It's not horrible, it's not bad. It's definitely a drop in quality, just a little bit. I still like it. It's not like you could 100% tell that Netflix is taking over. No, it does a good job of what it's doing. I really still enjoy it. And before I get to my final score, just leave your comment down below. What do you think of season 3? Do you think it crumbles on with a big fight? Do you think it just can't live it up to it, or do you think this is like one of the better seasons? Like, I still love this show. It's still really nice to see. This is got to be sort of my worst. And so for a final score, I still think that it gets an A. I'm just going to give it an A. It might have been, it's close between an A and an A minus. And then on the entertainment scale, it is a 9. So it's just a little drop, but I think that Cobra Kai Season 4 can live up to what it's trying to set up. And if it doesn't crumble against all the expectation, all that, and resolving this while setting up like more stuff, then I think it could be one of the best seasons. Anyway, that's it. Subscribe to Max Reviews, like this video. Braden out.